Welcome to a new episode of Democracy at the Crossroads, a platform that stands for upholding the spirit of democracy. One of the most key institutions for upholding democratic values and processes is a free and fair media. But unfortunately, in the last 10 years, when an authoritarian colossus like Narendra Modi strode the political landscape of India, our mainstream media lost its mojo. It became servile to the Modi establishment. Some of them, especially the Hindi media, were genuine converts to the aggressive Hindutva campaign that Modi spearheaded. Supporting him made good business, as pro-Modi stories and views drew eager eyeballs. So those media organizations turned Modi worshippers. Others, especially the English media, became the cheerleader out of fear. The message of the Modi establishment was clear. Either fall in line or face midnight knock by ED, CBI or income tax, or even get squeezed out of advertisement revenue, both in the public and private domain. So discretion was the better part of valor. Many chose to fall in line. They mostly sang paeans to Modi personally, only occasionally showing flashes of dissent against some policy or the other of the Modi government, just to keep up a semblance of their independence. What Advani had said about the media during the emergency would possibly more aptly describe the situation in the last 10 years. Our media institutions were asked to bend, they began to crawl. Well, the situation today is far worse than during the emergency. After all, during the emergency, the media was officially under strict censorship. Now, officially, the mainstream media is free, but everywhere it seems to be in a bondage. We saw it playing out every day in front of our eyes. I have no hesitation in saying that for a common man who is not a Modi Vakt, most of the Hindi newspapers are unreadable and Hindi channels are just unwatchable because their central theme revolves around Modi worship and Rahul bashing. I don't read them. I don't watch them. I begin my morning reading 6 English newspapers. These English dailies don't show servility to the Modi god to the extent their Hindi counterparts do. But they display Modi loyalty in ample measure. The Times of India and the Hindustan Times, where I spent a major part of my journalistic career, present themselves as the establishment newspaper. The pink papers, the Economic Times and the Business Standard come across as clear lackeys of the Modi administration, as they obviously represent the interests of the corporate class. My hope in the Hindu has been rather belied. This paper may not openly shuck up to Modi, but it rarely raises the red flag. It's a flat newspaper. It seems to do little journalism. It's more geared to serve the UPSC aspirants. The only paper with some verve I find is in the Indian Express. But then, the Express too comes across as a cheerleader for Modi on many occasions. But it balances it out with some investigative stories exposing the shenanigans of the Modi establishment. I was deeply dismayed when the Express gave weeks and perhaps months long front page publicity to the Modi government's Ram Mandir campaign rather enthusiastically. Those days, this paper, Express, almost hailed Modi as the modern day Ram. I thought then that the Express too had turned completely saffron. But thankfully, my faith was somewhat restored when the Express did a series of reports on electoral bonds that nailed the Modi government's corruption and crony capitalism. When it comes to television, the scenario is worse. The Hindi channels are just unwatchable. Their anchors appear as if they are products of the WhatsApp University run by RSS and the BJP. They sound like pracharaks, not journalists. The same is true for most English news channels as well. Just look at Times Now and Republic India. Nabita Kumar and Arnab Goswami are made for each other. They can outshout each other in displaying their obeisance to Modi night after night. Network 18 is in the same league. How hard that Anand Narasimhan, the lead anchor, tries every night to win some brownie points with Modi, or even with some of his sidekicks like Shah and Nadda. Well, post Prannoy Roy NDTV, owned by Adani, is the latest to join the Modi worship bandwagon. That's not natural. But I must give it some credit that it's a sober channel. It has no loudmouth anchors whose only mission in life is to demonstrate their loyalty to the Supreme Leader in every sentence that they utter. That leaves us with the India Today TV. A late night anchor in this channel, Gaurav Samant, seems to earn his living by flogging a dead horse, Pakistan, night after night. Siddharth Jarabi, the business editor, clearly comes across as if he is actually on the government payroll, but working for Arun Puri's channel. That leaves us with two celebrated prime-time anchors of the channel, Rahul Kanwal and Rajdeep Sardesai, who I usually get to watch for some time after dinner. One gets to see some good programs there. There is some degree of sanity in the discussion in those programs. But I have no hesitation in saying Rahul Kanwal too comes across as a Modi worshipper. That's why he finds a place in the India Today Ask the editorial team interviewing the Prime Minister. He was there with the other three Ask the editors interviewing PM Modi just a few days ago before the elections ended. It's a clear rule set by Prime Minister Modi that only the unadulterated cheerleaders will have the chance to interview him. Rahul Kanwal has that recognition, that brand value. That's why he had the privilege to be at the high table to interview PM Modi. Rajdeep Sardesai, on his part, has not been certified yet by PM Modi's team for his unflinching loyalty. So he never gets the chance to sit across the table with the Supreme Leader. Well, Rajdeep Sardesai may not be a Modi worshipper, but his television persona does not give the impression that he is truly an independent journalist who can speak truth to power. Just look at the way Rajdeep, Rahul Dior conducted themselves in the last 1 week. Take the case of the first 3 days of this month. After the exit poll results were aired, you should have seen the exhilaration of both the anchors. They were on cloud 9. Rajdeep excitedly welcomed Pradeep Gupta, the pollster who had given Modi the thumping victory. And Gupta was given a grand entry into the TV studio as if he was a film star.
The purple pussycat is here, making sure that he wears his purple. Yeah, he's the purple pussycat. Come on. Pradeep Gupta, who's now become a bit of a star. Look at it. Look at the way he comes. You see, he used to come earlier very quietly. Now he comes like a film star.
Any journalist worth the salt would have shown some degree of restraint. It was just the exit poll, not the final result. But even if the final result would have come along the lines of the exit poll, it did not behove journalists to behave like overwhelmed BJP activists. But then, it's just not simply the exit polls, it's not just one I've seen. We have seen the same scenario replayed again and again in the past whenever any pre-poll survey has come, whether conducted by the India Today group or by anyone closely connected to the ruling establishment.
What you're saying, incumbents are usually the ones who can shape the event. What could such an event be? Something which takes attention away from some of the problems red flagged by the mood of the nation, like unemployment, price rise, and make it about Prime Minister Modi and his personality.
Rahul, according to me, it is Prime Minister Modi. You see, there is the Mandir issue, which will play out in January and will have, in my view, an impact. There is an emotional fervor. Look, the BJP got a bounce. You see, whenever the BJP, it will certainly enthuse the core of the BJP. The core will be clearly galvanized. We are talking about plus voters. I believe that the plus voters have come to the BJP because of the personality of Prime Minister Modi. Between now and next year, you have the G20 summit. Mr. Modi will be projected as a Vishwa Guru. All these BJP MPs have been told, wherever you go, don't project. Forget Vikas Purush, as Manisha ji was saying. It's now Vishwa Guru. When you project him as a Vishwa Guru, you will make him larger than life.
He already is larger than life.
You will make him even larger than life. And once you do that, then even in states like Maharashtra, you will say that this election is not about who you want as your MP.
Yeah.
This election is about who do you want as Prime Minister of India. You will now, the BJP, you haven't seen anything yet in my view. They will make 2024 the biggest presidential election in the history of this country.
Invariably, the projection of these surveys were the same, just like the exit polls. That Modi, the charismatic leader, sweeping the country off its feet. And Rahul Gandhi is just a pappu, getting squelched under the jackboots of the Modi Armageddon. After every such survey I have seen, both Rahul Kanwal and Rajdeep Sardesai going in a tangent, heaping accolades on Modi and launching a tirade against Rahul Gandhi. There is no balance. There is no critical perspective. What kind of journalist you are if the mainstay of your show, after every such doctored pre-poll report, is to run down Rahul, the opposition leader, and sing unqualified paeans to Modi, the establishment, then you are perhaps required to do it to keep your job during the Modi rule. After all, when their owners, their proprietors openly grovel before the Prime Minister, how can an employee, however glorified he may be, sow his spine? Have you seen the satire, So Sorry, on India Today TV?
So sorry.
Whoever may be in the battlefield, at the end, Modi always emerges triumphant. All challengers, Rahul, Akhilesh, Mamata, everyone falls by the wayside. Every time. Yes, that has been the scenario in the last 10 years. When Modi, the Leviathan, ruled Mother India, that was a scenario when Modi had a brute majority in parliament and the divided opposition was virtually decimated. But today, after the election, Modi has been cut to size by the people of India and the opposition has got a leg up. However, it's true, though short of a clear majority by a distance, Modi will be able to cobble up a coalition to form a government again in the next few days. But rest assured, this Modi will be a dwarfed Prime Minister who will survive on the mercy of smaller parties and independents. My question is, with a lame duck Prime Minister in office, will the hitherto grovelling media get its mojo back? We'll get the answer in the coming days and months.